The most important news of the day: Victor Wembanyama has done it. The San Antonio Spurs have completed one of the most remarkable playoff runs in recent NBA history, defeating the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder in a thrilling Game 7 and punching their ticket to the 2026 NBA Finals. A night filled with drama, emotion, and unforgettable moments, the young Spurs stunned the basketball world and proved that their championship dream is very real. Today, all eyes are on San Antonio after an epic 111-103 victory over Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals. The series had everything basketball fans could ask for: superstar performances, momentum swings, clutch shots, defensive battles, and a winner-take-all Game 7 that lived up to every expectation. The Thunder entered the game as defending NBA champions and were only 12 minutes away from returning to the finals. But standing in their way was a Spurs team that refused to back down. Led by Victor Wembanyama, San Antonio showed incredible composure under pressure and delivered one of the most impressive fourth-quarter performances of the entire postseason. From the opening tip, the intensity was off the charts. The Spurs came out aggressive, taking an early lead behind Wembanyama and rising star Stephon Castle. San Antonio controlled the first quarter and looked determined to silence the Oklahoma City crowd. The champions never go away quietly. According to the latest information from the game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander once again reminded everyone why he is considered one of the best players in the world. The Thunder superstar took over during the second quarter, attacking relentlessly and keeping Oklahoma City within striking distance. Every time the Spurs created separation, Shai responded with another big basket. As the game moved into the second half, the pressure became almost unbearable. Every possession felt like it could decide the season. The Thunder fought back with the energy of a team trying to defend its title, while the Spurs responded with the confidence of a young group eager to create history. A few hours ago, basketball fans witnessed one of the defining moments of this playoff season. The fourth quarter began with San Antonio holding a narrow lead. One mistake could have changed everything. Instead, the Spurs delivered their strongest stretch of basketball when it mattered most. Keldon Johnson ignited the run with back-to-back three-pointers. De'Aaron Fox followed with a huge shot of his own. Then came Victor Wembanyama, calmly stepping into a three-pointer that sent a wave of energy through the Spurs bench. Suddenly, San Antonio had created breathing room. The lead expanded, the pressure shifted, and Oklahoma City found itself fighting to survive. But the drama was far from over. The Thunder responded, cutting into the deficit and forcing the Spurs into uncomfortable territory. Then came a moment that appeared capable of changing the entire game. Victor Wembanyama picked up his fifth foul. The Spurs superstar had to leave the floor with less than 7 minutes remaining. At that moment, Thunder fans sensed opportunity. Throughout the series, Oklahoma City had consistently dominated stretches when Wembanyama rested. The numbers suggested the Thunder could seize control. Instead, one of the most unexpected heroes of the postseason emerged: Luke Kornet. Moments after entering the game, Kornet produced a defensive play that may be remembered for years in San Antonio. Isaiah Hartenstein appeared to have a clear path to the basket after a steal. The crowd was ready to explode. The momentum seemed ready to swing toward Oklahoma City. Then Kornet flew across the court and delivered a stunning chase down block. The ball smashed against the backboard. The Spurs bench erupted. The Thunder crowd fell silent. And just seconds later, Stephon Castle knocked down a jumper that extended San Antonio's advantage. It was the type of sequence that changes championships. It was the type of sequence that defines careers. And it perfectly represented the Spurs team-first mentality throughout this remarkable playoff run. While Wembanyama deservedly receives much of the attention, Game 7 was a complete team effort. Julian Champagnie delivered one of the biggest performances of his career, scoring 20 points while knocking down 6 three-pointers. Every time Oklahoma City threatened to close the gap, Champagnie answered with another massive shot. Stephon Castle continued his rise as one of the NBA's brightest young stars. De'Aaron Fox brought veteran leadership and poise. Dylan Harper contributed crucial baskets in critical moments. Keldon Johnson provided energy and scoring. Every player contributed. Every player mattered. Every player helped write a new chapter in Spurs history. As the final minute approached, the realization began to sink in. The defending champions were running out of time. The Spurs were minutes away from the NBA Finals. One final basket from Castle pushed the lead back to 8 points. Then came the exclamation point. Devin Vassell threw down a powerful dunk that effectively ended the contest and sent the Spurs bench into celebration mode. Seconds later, the buzzer sounded. The Western Conference belonged to San Antonio. Players rushed onto the court. Coaches embraced. Fans celebrated. And Victor Wembanyama could no longer hide his emotions. The young superstar covered his face with his jersey as tears and joy overwhelmed him. It was the culmination of years of expectations, pressure, growth, and sacrifice. Just a short time ago, questions surrounded Wembanyama's future after serious health concerns interrupted his development. There were uncertainties. There were challenges. There were moments when reaching this stage seemed far away. Now, he stands 4 wins away from an NBA championship. The emotions were impossible to ignore. After the game, Wembanyama spoke about sharing the experience with teammates he deeply cares about. His words reflected the culture that has transformed San Antonio from a rebuilding franchise into a championship contender. And his performance throughout the postseason has been nothing short of historic. Wembanyama entered these playoffs carrying enormous expectations. Instead of shrinking under the spotlight, he elevated his game to another level. His playoff debut set records. His defensive dominance changed games. His leadership matured with every series. And now his efforts have been rewarded with the Western Conference Finals MVP trophy. Yet perhaps the most impressive part of his journey has been his growth as a leader. Earlier in the postseason, Wembanyama openly criticized aspects of his own play. He accepted responsibility after losses. He challenged himself to make teammates better. He demanded more from himself. Those moments of accountability helped shape the player fans are watching today. This isn't just a superstar putting up numbers. This is a franchise cornerstone learning how to lead a team through the most difficult moments imaginable. The results speak for themselves. The Spurs are heading to the NBA Finals, and the story becomes even more remarkable when you consider how quickly this transformation happened. Only 1 year ago, San Antonio held the 2nd overall pick in the NBA draft. Think about that. 1 year ago, they were focused on the future. Today, they are playing for a championship. The organization built patiently through the draft, selecting talented young players and allowing them to grow together. Wembanyama became a superstar. Stephon Castle emerged as a key playmaker. Dylan Harper developed into a playoff contributor. Veteran additions provided stability and leadership. Everything came together faster than anyone expected. Now the Spurs are officially one of the youngest teams ever to reach the NBA Finals. And according to many around the league, this may only be the beginning. But waiting for them is an opponent with a championship dream of its own. The New York Knicks. The 2026 NBA Finals are officially set. Spurs versus Knicks. Wembanyama versus Jalen Brunson. One of the NBA's brightest young superstars against one of the league's toughest and most resilient leaders. This matchup carries history. The Knicks are making their first finals appearance since 1999. The Spurs are returning to the finals for the first time since 2014. 27 years after their famous finals meeting, these franchises will battle once again for basketball's ultimate prize. And the numbers suggest fans could be in for an incredible series. New York enters the finals on an astonishing playoff winning streak. Their offense has been dominant. Their defense has been elite. They have crushed opponents throughout the postseason and arrive with tremendous confidence. Meanwhile, the Spurs have built their identity around balance, versatility, and relentless defense. Their ability to create turnovers, block shots, and adapt during games has fueled their rise through the Western Conference. Something has to give. Will New York's experience and momentum carry them to a championship? Or will the youthful energy and rising superstar power of Victor Wembanyama deliver another historic Spurs title? The countdown has officially begun. Game 1 is only days away. The basketball world is watching. The spotlight is brighter than ever. And one thing is certain. Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs are no longer the future of the NBA. They are the present. After surviving one of the greatest Western Conference Finals battles in recent memory, they have earned the opportunity to compete for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. The championship is now within reach. The journey that started with rebuilding, development, and belief has led to the biggest stage in basketball. The Spurs are going to the NBA Finals, and the entire sports world is paying attention. What do you think? Can Victor Wembanyama lead the Spurs to an NBA championship, or will the New York Knicks complete their incredible playoff run and capture the title? Let us know your prediction in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest sports stories and breaking NBA news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.